All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We'll be diving right into a phone-in segment, which is Daybreak Interactive, where we'll love to hear your thoughts. So when the time is right, make sure you call us in so that we can hear your opinions and thoughts. Now, this morning, we'll shift our attention to a matter that hits close to home for millions of Nigerians: how public funds are being spent by those elected to serve us. As families struggle to put food on the table, pay school fees, or get basic health care, a new report shared by the United States Embassy has sparked national outrage. Now, the report, titled "Nigeria's Ruling Class Splashes Billions on Government Houses," paints a troubling picture of how some Nigerian governors are spending public money, not on roads, hospitals, or job creation, but on extravagant personal and political projects. Now, in Oyo State, the government approved a staggering 63.4 billion naira to renovate the government house, calling it an embarrassment. In Gombe, one of the poorest states in the country, which is Gombe State, the governor is spending nearly 15 billion naira to build a new official residence and over 14 billion naira more on a state assembly complex. These aren't rumors, these are figures from official documents. Now, meanwhile, across the country, we see pensioners unpaid, workers striking, and young people leaving the country in search of better opportunities, where we call it the Japa syndrome. Market women are cutting meals to once a day. Families are skipping medical treatment. Yet, governors are cruising in convoys of brand new bulletproof SUVs and renovating offices with imported marble. The United States Embassy didn't mince words. They said this lack of fiscal responsibility fuels inequality and erodes public trust. So today, we're asking, is this acceptable? Are our governors wasting public funds while citizens suffer? Or are some of these projects just misunderstood priorities? We want to hear your voice. We want to hear from you. How is this affecting you in your state? What do you expect from your leaders? And how can we, the people, demand accountability? And do you think these expenditures are justifiable for them to be done? The phone lines are open. Make sure you call the numbers displayed on your screen or send us a WhatsApp message. Call us in right now. Let us hear from you. Let us know your opinion on what is going on. All right, we have our first caller. We have Ade from London. Hello, good morning, Ade. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm okay. We are talking everywhere.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts. What do you think about these expenditures? Do you think they're justifiable, or they could be used for better things?
It could be used for better things because these are wasteful public funds. They are just wasting public funds. Like Fatima normally says, we don't know where they end when they leave this world. Where they end, they are going to face judgment. They don't have the fear of God. Because they have the fear of God, we will do what they. Can you imagine the government of your state? 20-something billion. And when you hear this figure, trust me, it's only 10% of that figure they are investing on that project. The rest is here. You see? But how long will they live on this planet that they will spend the money? I don't know. Will they live 200 years before they die? They have property everywhere. They have to stay here. It's very, very easy for you to know who owns property in this state. Therefore, it's watching everything come up. Those people here. But they don't care. And nobody is doing anything about these things. Like, pensioners are dying under the bridge. Policemen, retired policemen are collecting 30,000. Can you imagine? And these people are lamenting that. Even that last year, we remitted $30 billion from the airport. You see? On my own little way, at least I empower more than 200 people for the past 5 years. I don't know them. I just read them on social media, complain for one thing or the other. So, but what can the government do? What are the legislators doing? What are they doing? Are they investing this money on internal projects? Government say they want to do anything. Look at them, the government. Eh? What poverty is where he lives? What's stopping now from having a food bank where poor people will go and collect food? Please, even though it's 2 kg of rice or gari or whatever the food, they will go and cook at home and we know that at least they will eat in a day. But they don't do this thing. They are back on elegant projects without the fear of God. What are they doing with the money? What are they doing? Look at the young man that was EFCC boss before this one come. They say he went to Mecca. He sat out all the family, 5-star hotel, everything, blowing dollar. We don't have fear of God. That's the problem. What are you going to do with the money? If a parliamentarian here, which we call a legislator in Nigeria, if you endeavor £10, just £10, he must pay the job, he must resign. So when are we going to have this etiquette in Nigeria? I mean, I don't know what to say than to be praying, because this is getting too much. People are hungry. People are very, very hungry. I know that. All over Nigeria, they are hungry. And there is crime everywhere. Kidnapping, everything, killing. God will rescue Nigeria. Rescue Nigeria. Good morning, my sister.
All right, thank you so much, Ajay, for that contribution. Well, as he said, it is not justifiable. But then again, when you look at it, when the government is in power, whatever it is that they need to do is supposed to be for the public interest. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. My name is Maha Yusuf.
All right, good morning. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Madela, Suleja, Niger State.
All right, thank you for joining us. What is your take on this issue?
Yes, thank you very much. The country, the way things are going in the country, it's not something that we're happy with. And our public officers, our government, the way they are spending our funds is uncalled for. You see, the issue of minimum wage has not been addressed in the country, and civil servants are suffering. And you see the way the government are spending this fund.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So you now look at the whole thing that these people, they are not for the masses, they are for themselves. If they are for themselves, definitely the people that elected them, they are not responsible for them. So what we need to do as a nation, we need to look inwardly and do the needful for the masses. And they have failed us, per se. So may God continue to strengthen us and provide for the less privileged in the society. So that is the only thing we have to say. Thank you. I really appreciate this your effort. I've been trying to call this all this while. I was able to get you through today. I'm very happy. This is my first time. I'm a first-time caller.
All right, that is great. Thank you for calling us, and please do continue to call us in and be persistent as well. All right, as he made mention, there are a lot of things that need to be done with the funds, and as I mentioned earlier, when you are in public office, whatever you do is meant to be for the public's interest. As he made an example, in some states, the minimum wages have still not been enforced. So with that, and seeing them doing other projects that does not concern public interest, that in itself will give you something to think about. All right, we have Shetima Yakudima from Maiduguri. Hello, good morning, Shetima.
Good morning, Hauwa.
All right, thank you for joining us. How is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri is fine. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, thank you. All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
Hauwa, honestly speaking, you see, we cannot call it financial management, but rather we call it financial reckless spending by the governors. Honestly speaking, sometimes you will imagine. That is why sometimes I say in this platform, we don't have a political parties in Nigeria. What we have is a group of parties where they are struggling for power to enjoy the government treasury. You see, if at all we have political party, organized political party, they could have been controlling the governors in this reckless spending that they are doing. Whether we like it or not, they are making a reckless spending, and which is pushing people into unnecessary difficulties. Honestly speaking, they are getting enough to change the life of their people, but they are not doing it. They are not doing it. We don't know why. You see, a governor who was you know his position, you know his status, economic status before. By the time he was being elected by opportunity, you see him that he's buying car and making a gift, of it. They will be dashing cars as you are giving people kola nuts. Look at it. How can you buy a car, a very expensive car, with a public money and make a gift, a pre-gift of it? What kind of sense do you have? And if you turn and look at the education sector, is dying, or it is dead already. If you look at the security, there is nothing to show about. All our hospitals, there is nothing to show about. Even the doctors that they are working there, their welfare is nothing to show. Look at it. We don't know what is wrong with our governors. If at all we have a political party, the chairman of political party is a father to all members of the party. If you are doing wrong, he will call you to order. That is how democracy is practicing. But here in Nigeria, if you assume power, you have become over and above a political party chairman. A political party chairman is romancing you for him to have something, out of your treasury. What kind of sense do we have? We have to remember, and we have to cast our mind back. Before you come in, many people have come in and they're gone, and some of them they are nowhere. They are not in existence. Where is people like Rimi of Kano? Where is people like Balarabe Musa of Kaduna? They are nowhere to be found. And you will be like them one day. And this death is not knocking, it is not knocking door. Like the way you have not been consulted when you have bring you to this world, and you have no role to play when you have been given back to this world. That is the same way your life will be taken without consulting you. You have to do something good. Touch the people's life. Change the people's life to a reasonable manner. Let them feel you are staying there before death claim you. But they are putting that all things aside. They are doing what they want to do. But may Allah help us. May Allah make them to understand, so that they should change for our people to have a dividend of democracy. But we are running democracy. Always our difficulties have been increased. We are always seeing change for difficulties, not change for better. May Allah sanitize Nigeria. Thank you so much, and happy and nice day.
All right, thank you so much, Shatima, for those contributions. He made a note of saying that there are a lot of expenditures that are being done that are unnecessary. And when it comes to, management of funds, when it comes to the government, we have to look at a structure, and we have to look at what is sustainable. An example that he gave of, a state governor buying brand new cars and gifting it out to its officials. That in itself is very detrimental to the financial status of a state. When you buy cars, for example, they're supposed to be official, and those cars or those, things that are bought for official use are supposed to be recurring. They're supposed to move to the next tenure as well, to whoever it is that's going to come into the office. But then let's answer our next caller. We have Tony Eze. Hello, good morning, Tony Eze. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Fine.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you. I will not limit it to only my state alone, because across the board, the whole 33 states, you find governor misusing the state money. Like in Benue State, where I'm residing, the states don't grow. As I'm talking to you, since 1999 up to date, if we have governors that have been functioning very well doing the things they're supposed to do, we won't be here. And it's across the board, not only Benue. We find so many people that before they became governor, they are poor. But after being governor for 4 years, sometimes 4 years, sometimes 8 years, the person became millionaire. Not even minding how much is their basic salary, how much is their allowance. At the end of the day, the money they have is bogus. Where are they getting those money? So all these things is as a result of systematic failure. Where we are living in a country where law is not working. Where we are living in a country where things are not being checkmate. And the simple truth about it, before we get out of all these messes, by the time we have system that will be working, that as a government, if somebody enter office, you are one day people will come and check what are doing and you will account for it. But as long as it became a no man business, you do 8 years, you go. Sometimes if you are they want to clamp down on such person after staying in office, they use EFCC following the person. Being a while, the matter will stop and then the person will continue working on the street. Nigeria will have problems. And that this problem, everybody will rise up and then we will be picking, and not only picking, putting it in action. Both in office, both local government and both governors, in presidency, all corruption is the order of the day. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Tony Eze. He made a point. There are a lot of states in Nigeria, and when you go there and look at it, you would see in the past 20 years, give or take, you wouldn't see, there isn't any change that can be seen in those states, and that is very deplorable and very heartbreaking. The states like Benue states, which have ample resources that could be used to boost and move the state forward as well. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Evangelist Olu calling from Jebu.
All right, good morning, Evangelist. Thank you for joining us. What is your take on this?
You.
Thank you so much.
My take is, as usual, that it's our law, just like the last caller said, that our law is not solid enough. If not, all these anomalies being committed by the governors will have stopped. But I cited the case of Yaya Bello the other time, that nothing is being done to Yaya Bello. He's still moving freely on the streets of Nigeria after embezzling all over 100 billion naira. Nigerian money, the taxpayers' money. That's very bad. If something has been done, if the immunity clause has been removed from our constitution, all this will not be happening. If our laws have been allowed to take its course, all this will not be happening. In foreign countries, any leader that is accused of mismanagement of funds or something less will resign automatically. But nothing like that here. There should be provision for any governor that has mismanaged the money to face the ambit of the law. In other countries, they even execute them, cut off their hands or whatever. But nothing like that here. Somebody that stole yam of 3,000 and they will send to 10 years imprisonment. Injustice here and there, corruption. That corruption is the main problem of this country. until we have a president that will not border, that will not border anything that will happen, that will say this issue of corruption. You should begin to start with me. If I steal any money, this is what should happen to me. You will see that the governors too will sit tight. These governors, they have made a lot of things difficult for people. The president said, we should ask our governors how they have been spending our money. That we should ask if we should stop releasing the money to them. They should stop releasing the money. All those monies they are even released through the salary or whatever, the accountant general. They should recollect everything back and use it to revamp the economy. We want the price of fuel to go down to 200 naira. That is the only solution. All this problem of scarcity here and there will be a thing of the past. And anyone, minister or whoever that still should be fired with immediate effect. Or rather, nothing will be done for them because of 2027. They still want to come back. That is one day I know that someone will rise up for this country. One day, and that day will be very soon. This is Evangelist Olugunnaike returning from Djibouti. Your station will continue to wax longer in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, Evangelist, for those comments. He made a point saying that it is due to the fact that there isn't any accountability and there aren't consequences to anyone's actions. That is why it is seen as okay not to do anything according to public interest. When you look at it, he made mention that if it were other countries, if anybody or any governor is found with any discrepancy, he would willingly resign and then he would be brought to book. But then what I would say is we are lost when it comes to morals and values, and we would not have anybody, step up and admit to their wrong. And even if there is, an immunity when it comes to those governors, when they are off their seats, when their tenure is done, at least they do not have any immunity of that. They should be brought to book, and that should serve as an example for anyone coming after that. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Thomas Agada, calling from Itupo.
All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your take on this issue?
I think it's all about the last speaker. The offenders are not being punished. Once we begin to punish offenders, I think all this will stop. We are so lawless country. Okay, the president that is giving them this money, are they not asking them to retire the account so that they will know exactly what they are doing? Then the federal institutions that fight corruption, are they not in all the states? Why don't they go in and then look for them? All is because the offenders are not being punished. Because once we look at it, we say, okay, we have to manage them, they are necessary demons because of next election. So I think it's not worth talking about. We'll be talking and no action. Nothing will still happen. It will still remain like that. Just like the last speaker said that one day somebody will come up to correct it. We are behaving as if the country, we have another country. Our leaders are behaving as if they have another country elsewhere that they will go to after spoiling this one. So I don't understand. But my own take is that let's begin to punish offenders. By the time we start punishing offenders, you will see that all these things will take a straight line. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. As he said, if offenders are punished, then that would serve as an example, as a deterrent for others to come. But then when we look at it, at this particular point that we're in, with, governors spending on, political projects and things that might seem to be not in the public interest, we have a lot of things that Nigerians need. We have the situation when it comes to food security, we have bad roads, we have a healthcare system that is in a deplorable state. We just, the nurses just called off their strikes. We have each and every sector, there is something that needs to be done. When it comes to agriculture as well, farmers are crying out because there aren't enough farm inputs for them to, continue farming or do it as they're supposed to, and which in turn there are fears of food scarcity when it comes to the end of the year, even next year. But then what is their focus on? What are the governors' focus on? Everyone's focus is on politics, on 2027 elections, when they are supposed to be focused on public interest, on what the people need. Give them a chance to see what you're capable of doing, and then with that, then they can, decide when the time is right, when it comes for them to vote. All right, let us take a couple of messages from our WhatsApp. We have a message here. There isn't a name here, but then it says truth must be told. Governors are wasteful elements, and the citizens are responsible for that. What he means by that is that we, the citizens, will not call for their head. Instead, we call for the head of the president that is far away from us. Meanwhile, the governor is the closest government that we should hold responsible for the happenings in our area. Take Lagos State, for example. Do you know how many places that the government does not have a presence? Yes, nothing is being done by the citizens. Well, I will take up with that. They made mention of only calling out the president when the state government is right there. Those are the ones directly responsible for your well-being, for the state's well-being as well. All right, we have another message from Ayuba from Gombe. It says, good morning, Hauwa. The answer to your question is a capital no. Governors are the bottlenecks we have in this country. Funds entrusted in their hands are misused to enrich themselves by creating elephants-wide projects to divert funds and leave the masses impoverished. As a physically challenged person, it is paining me to see my people in the streets being constantly neglected to beg in the streets and later evacuate them to an unknown destination without any backup or social security. And this is my take this morning. All right, thank you so much, Ayuba from Gombe, for that. He said the state governors are leaving the state in deplorable conditions and leaving the people in dire conditions, making them to go to extreme measures to survive. All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Bolanle.
All right, where are you calling from?
From Lagos.
All right, thank you for joining us. What is your take on this issue, and what is the situation in Lagos State?
The situation in Lagos State is appalling. Like that WhatsApp I've said, because I was the one that sent that WhatsApp.
All right.
There are so many places in Lagos State where there's no government presence, whether local governments or state governments, not talk of federal government presence. But yet, we the citizens, what do we do about it? Nothing. All what we shout is the president is bad, the clinical is bad. Nobody is talking about the governor. The governor make themselves emperor. They do whatever they like. Anything they like, they do. And even imagine a commissioner going for an official maybe visit or something like that. You see 3, 4 vehicles on the road. Big vehicles. We are talking about V8 engines vehicles. And yet, we are saying government remove a subsidy. The fuel is this, the fuel is that. Do you know how many fuel this government officials are consuming every day on government buses? Compare, talking about the governor himself traveling on a road. Do you know how many vehicles he goes with? Do you know how many fuel they are wasting? And that one aside, what is the citizen enjoying even from the governor themselves? Nothing. And every governor will be shouting, we don't have enough funds to do this, to do projects, to do this, to do that. But you say, maybe national team wants something now, you'll be hearing them, we donate $10,000, we donate $100,000. They will not even mention it in Naira. For you not to be scared that they are giving so much money. You'll be hearing Lagos State give Kenekan $100,000, $200,000. My dear, if you convert that, those money mentioning in dollar into naira, you'll be afraid. Meanwhile,
Absolutely.
common man on the street that is doing his business does not even have 5,000, 10,000 naira, even 100,000 naira to run his business. And all our roads are bad. Nobody is talking about it. And I don't blame them. I can only blame the citizens, even including you journalists. The media house are not helping at all. You have neglected the work of investigative journalism. Because I used to know that media houses will go to all these government offices to make sure that, okay, to find out what is going on. But what we see today is, radio station and the TV station showing little that they've been able to do. Okay, maybe one bridge they commission somewhere, which is not necessary. The TV station will be showing it to us. The governor of Kedekan did this and did that. Meanwhile, those little things that the citizens needed, nobody is talking about it. Even the citizens themselves are not talking about it. If you are not able to eat today, you'll be shouting president. If you are not able to do business today, you'll be shouting. Is it the president that is the most closest person to you? Even the common local government. How many of us know even the name of our local government chairman? Not to talk about even the councillors. How many of us knows them? So they do whatever they like because they know that there's nothing we can do because, we are not bothered about them. We are only bothered about the president. I heard recently now, at least many governors have been saying it, that the current dispensation, the current government now has been giving governor more money than any other president. The money they are giving them, please, what have they done with it? Nothing.
All right. Thank you so much for that contribution. He made a lot of points, and as him calling from Lagos, saying that there are lots of things that are not being done. Lagos State is one of the states, or a top state, that has a very high internally generated revenue, and aside from that, the state allocation given from the federal government, that in itself should be a lot of revenue to make sure that a lot of things are done in the public's interest. And aside from that, he called out us journalists in making sure that we do our jobs right, making them holding people or holding the government accountable for what they're supposed to do. As we know, journalists are supposed to be the watchdogs of the community. So let us do our job right. And for the citizens of Nigeria, make sure we call out, the government, hold them accountable for what they are meant to do. As he said earlier, not a lot of us know, our local government chairman, our councillors as well, people that are directly responsible in making sure that each and every thing is done right. All the ducks are in a row. So make sure we hold everyone accountable, and for those at the top, making sure that they do the needful in the public interest. And as they say, be the change you want to see in the world, and it will be all right.